Cześć, witaj. Hello and welcome. My name's Gonbochab Karko, and I thought I'd take you out on a nice little walk around where I live today to show off some of the camera techniques that me and my crewmate Relina will be using during the filming of our documentary. My responsibility on set will be to be in charge of the GV footage. Now basically what this means is that I will be the one creating the images of the ambience of the different rooms of the palace, the interiors, the exteriors, any shot that concerns itself with establishing the location that we're working on. One of the main things you need to think about when you're shooting GV is what kind of space are you concerning yourself with? How big is the location that you're filming in? What lighting conditions do you have to think of? And especially if you're thinking of doing natural lighting, you have to pay a lot of mind to what the setting you're filming in needs from its camera angles. So for instance, if I were to find myself in a space like this, there are several techniques I could use to make this look as nice as it can. So for instance, if we find ourselves in a location like this, immediately you might notice that there's a line of trees going nice and diagonally downwards until they reach the floor, leaving a skybox in around this area. What this has done is split the scene up into three different pieces: the sky, the trees, and the ground. Each of these having a different shape. What you need to do as a camera operator is find the right balance between these shapes so that it creates a satisfying image with a sense of progression through it. So here we have, on the right side, the biggest and closest tree, slowly tapering off to the left to where it hits the lamppost, which we can also use as a point of reference to keep in the left side of the frame. Now if I wanted to get closer to this, change the scale, maybe even focus on some of these things that are closer up to me. It's all keeping it within the framework that we've created with that original image. There are many different camera techniques that all work to different effects. One of the most common of these is the rule of thirds. What this rule consists of is splitting a scene into 9 separate squares, each of which contain their own amount of information. The amount of information in each square is completely up to you. As the photographer, you have the agency to decide what side of the photo has more, what side of the photo has less. Maybe they have the same, maybe the colors are different, so long as it's all broken down into 9 separate parts. This logic can also be applied to observational filming, one in which you need to track a target through a scene, maintaining their position at either the left, the middle, or the right of the frame. Leading lines are another technique useful for drawing a viewer's focus to a specific part of a scene. As the path we see here gradually gets narrower, our eyes are brought along with it. The walls on either side also help to tighten the focus of this image, bringing our eyes closer and even more vehemently towards the point of interest along 2 straight leading lines. Leading lines are incredibly useful at creating motion in a scene, so long as you have a right and a left side that both converge on the same point, it's a leading line. I hope you've enjoyed this video exploring some basic techniques and principles of filmmaking. I've listed our social media @ here, as well as our GoFundMe link. Dziękuję Ci, and thank you.